Okay, welcome back to the Dublin Academy again of Maths. Now it's Leaving Cert Ordinary Level Maths Series 4 Episode 3 Paper 1 and it's complex numbers. Okay, and we're doing multiplication, so it's question 4, okay, paper 1. Now I'm just going to show you how we deal with multiplication. So if we have 2 plus 2i and we're multiplying it by minus 3 plus 4i. Okay, we just multiply normally. Okay, that means we just multiply as we would x and y. So it's 2 times minus 3 plus 4i. So we don't change the parts here, okay? So that's one thing you have to remember. Multiplication is just the same as the ordinary algebra. So we're multiplying along here and we're going along with me. Plus by minus is a minus. Plus by plus, come on. Yeah, 8i. Now, plus by minus is minus, 2 3s is 6i. Plus by plus is plus, 2 4s are 8. And then we've got I by I is I squared. And that's the first time we've seen I squared. And we know from the last time, I squared is equal to minus 1. Okay, so now we can start filling them in. So minus 6 plus 8i minus 6i is 2i. Okay, I'm just doing them as I'm going along. I take this now is where I can use the imaginary parts with the imaginary parts and the reals with the reals. Now 8i squared is the same as plus 8 times minus 1. Okay, so what you could do is you could put it in here to remind yourself that you're multiplying by minus 1, but you would put it out in the red or something, okay, to show that it's not included in the equation. So you're multiplying here, it's got minus 6 plus 2i. Plus by minus is a minus 8, so you have the real parts. Minus 8 minus 6 minus 14 plus 2i. Okay, and that's the answer to that. That's how you multiply. Right, so now I'm going to do it again. So remember that I squared is equal to minus 1. I is equal to the square root of minus 1. Next one, it says, so I'm going to show you what conjugates are. Z is equal to A plus BI. Now that's a general term. The conjugate of that is A minus BI. So if I said Z is equal to 2 minus 2i, I know the conjugate of that is going to be 2 plus 2i. Do you see what I did here? I changed the sign. Okay, you see what happens? You change the sign. Multiply it by a minus. Okay, now I'll just show you, is there anything else here? So no, that's one. That's okay. So that's conjugates. So the conjugate. So Z is the ordinary number, and the conjugate is when it's changed. It's got a bar over it like that. Okay. It's got a bar to say that it's the conjugate form. And we did conjugates before in surds. It's related to surds. Okay, they're all somewhat similar to surds, and surds is in series 1. We did series 1 as algebra, which is free on YouTube. Okay, so I'm going to do some questions. So if Z is equal to 2 minus I, find Z plus the conjugate of Z. Okay, so that's going to equal to, Z is 2 minus I plus, remember you're following your signs, 2 minus I. Okay, sorry, 2 plus I, because the conjugate, put in the conjugate, is equal to 2 plus I. Alright, and we just separate them out. So you got 2 here minus I plus 2 plus I. Okay, so you got minus I, you just got the answer is 4 plus 0i or 4. Okay, but 0 is the imaginary part. You've only got the answer is 4. Next it says find okay, so find next part is Z by its conjugates. Now these are kind of rules, but you just know the difference. You can see that there's a pattern working out here. So that means 2 minus I times 2 plus I, its conjugate. So the same again, you multiply it out, 2 plus I minus I by 2 plus I. Okay, right, so you multiply it out and you get 4 plus 2I minus 2I minus I squared. I squared is equal to minus 1. Okay, remember that. So it's multiplying by minus 1. So you got clean this up here. You got 4 plus 2I minus 2I and they cancel. Minus I squared is the same as minus 1, which is 4 plus 1, which is the answer is 5. So you can see that when multiplying out the conjugates by its conjugate, z by its conjugate, you actually end up with a real number. Okay, so that's one of the rules you get out of this. So the results are always real numbers when you're multiplying them. Okay, now nothing else to add to this. Let's try z squared. Find z squared. Now, what does that mean? That means the conjugate squared. Okay, so we have it's the same as 2 plus I all to be squared, which is the same as 2 plus I by 2 plus I, and we work them out, so it's 2 times 2 plus I times 2 plus I. You get 4 plus 2I plus 2I plus I squared times, that's minus 1. Okay? Add them, you get 4 plus 4I minus 1. So you're left with 3 plus 4I when you add the reals with the real parts. Okay? Right, so the conjugate squared gives you a imaginary complex number. Okay, so that's worth noting for the future. Right, let's go over and have a look at these questions. So, as I said before, I'm dublinacademy@gmail.com or dublinacademyonline.com is my web address. Questions. Express each of the following in the form of x plus yi. This is different to a plus bi. Okay, so you have different forms. So you multiply them out, multiply that out, 31, multiply those out. Okay, watch your signs. Remembering that if you're stuck, what's the square root of 3 by the square root of 3? Well, we know that the square root of 4 by the square root of 4 is the same as 2 by 2, which is 4. So we can just cancel them out and left with 3. That's the whole idea of this. Okay? Not the idea, but that you know that how to get rid of the root 3 by that method. Okay, now write down the conjugate of each. So the conjugate of this, you multiply that out and you find you get then the answer. You get the conjugate. The same as then is squared. So it's 2 minus I by 2 minus I. Okay, now if z1 is equal to 2 minus I and z2 is equal to minus 1 plus 2i and z3 is just equal to I, expressed in the form of a plus bi, it's the same up here, x plus yi. So z1 times do whatever in the bracket z3 minus z2, z3 minus z2. Okay, and then 36 it says find z3 squared. So z3 all to be squared is I squared. 37 is z1 minus times the conjugate of z2. Okay, minus z2 times the conjugate of z1. Okay, so that's great that conjugate is in there, right? So yeah, I mean it's fairly simple enough. The whole thing here is that you have to do plenty of questions, and there's no other way about it. That's it. That's where you find your errors. Okay, thank you.